Okay, great. So that, of course, is a check-in around that. Again, grateful for being here. Someone says, glad to be here. There's a spirit need for me to balance, process, integrate more fully the shining energies of this red moon are amazing. You have entered as a sun in Leo, rising Virgo, moon in Libra. Blessings to all. Thank you so much for being a part of this place. Thank you so much for sharing. Just a moment here, and I just need to do this real quick. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this. I totally understand needing balance. I sat in ritual myself last night because I felt just like I needed to. I am a Pluto in Scorpio, I believe it is. So I think in that case, I feel just like that need to process and to integrate that kind of heavy karmic cycles that comes out of this energy and out of this full moon. You need that time. And so I'm grateful for you to take that time because, yes, this moon is amazing and everything's passing quickly right now. I feel like if that works for folks, it's like you can process it. And even if you're still carrying the energy, you're processing. And also, I think especially when we're working with a lot of fire, earth, air energy, we really want to continue to process that water as well, because it's not maybe necessarily as intuitive for us. And so that extra energy is always useful. Okay, I'm just going to fix this. Perfect. Great. So with that, let me get the recording. Great. So I think we're ready. What a wonderful group today. As always, I'm grateful, happy, blessed to have you. And so what I like to do to get us grounded is to talk a little bit about where we are and the energy, and talk a little bit about the astrology of the moment, as well as anything that I feel is kind of useful for this specific energy. Someone says, if you get the chance, Mercury is in Scorpio. Do you know what that would mean? I'd be happy to, answer that for you. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that does work with your communications. And so specifically in your communications, I believe sometimes in business as well. And just like expression, it can even be artistic expression sometimes. You work with emotions, and you may, in a way, be kind of bringing in. I find Scorpio to be a really fascinating energy. People find themselves kind of attracted to it. And there may also be an energy of kind of like mystery in the way that you communicate that I think people might find interesting. So of course, I'm happy to answer even offline if you'd like to send me a follow-up email, but that is, I think, a good rundown as well. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about Mercury, at least the deity. So, and he's always right here with me in multiple forms because I am a Virgo. So you can call in that Mercury to Scorpio connection as much as you'd like, which I think we should all be calling in, to be honest, because we've got Mercury in retrograde while we're also dealing with this kind of full moon of endings and emotional ends. Okay. So, wow. I I didn't realize how much the fan would blow this around. I'm sorry about that, but that's Mercury retrograde for you. And I'm so grateful and happy to be here. So we've all probably experienced in some way or another full moon energy, which can be intense, can be very eye-opening. It can be felt on these multiple kind of emotional, expressional ways. Now, a blood moon, and especially a blood moon eclipse, as well as an eclipse in general, really further intensifies what a full moon is. It opens us in the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, to a deeper state of kind of being affected. And it really activates our soul on this deep level. We start to feel like we are touching base with our soul contract, our master plan, some might call it. We are opening ourselves to new events that are necessary, of course, for growth and evolution, but can nonetheless sometimes be challenging. I know there was someone who came to an eclipse a while ago who had just left like a very long relationship and was like, I'm in a hotel. This feels like an eclipse moment. And I was like, that is an eclipse moment. So hopefully none of us are in that kind of space and are mostly in safe places, but this is about kind of moving. Often it can be moving into a safer space, even if it is challenging. It's about activating, as well as how difficult that can actually be sometimes. And what's in this time, we often are really being guided, not just to move forward, but to close the door on the chapters that have come before. Eclipses are always endings and closures and completions, with eclipse being the trigger of this need to close that door. But at the same time, we're working with Scorpio, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. And so if you know, whatever you know about Greek pagan work, Greek pagan mythology, religion, Pluto is the keeper of the dead. And so if you feel called to work with him today, you can. You don't have to. I think go with what makes you feel safe. There have been some folks who came and said, I felt Pluto followed me home. And I just wanted to be clear with you that if Pluto does follow you, that's not even necessarily, he's not intended to be a bad energy. So if you're feeling bad energy coming from anything, please talk to me, because that means that there's an opening in the aura or an opening in the home or some kind of energy that's asking to be expressed. And so we need to talk. Otherwise, Pluto is not necessarily a bad energy, though I understand not wanting to work with him. You don't have to. But this full moon share is working with Pluto. And so we can just receive the emanations of this energy. All this to say that this is in every way about completely closing the door, completely shedding the being that we are now, and moving much more deeply into the authentic state, our sort of own natural order. It's when you see the death card in the tarot, for example, it is about change and it is about closing. And so closing of cycles, I should say. And so when I work with this idea of change, I've of course experienced my own deep life-changing moments. I think we all have. And in them, I had a very wise friend of the family once say to me that the only thing you can expect in life is change and transformation. And so I forget that wisdom and remember it all the time. But I pass it on to you today to remember that whatever has come up for us and whatever will come up for us is never permanent. And that as well is the energy of this time. Now, because this is about change and closing doors, with Scorpio, who is ruled by water, we are moving into change with that intensity and that deepness of feelings. And so today we're going to be doing some shadow work. I am only here to allow you to go as far as you'd like to go. Someone says, embrace the unknown. Yes, I mean, that's right. Embrace the unknown. And so that's really like the heart of it, is that we cannot know everything. The universe is full of mysteries, secrets. So embrace that you just have that. You have that fully. And what I would also say is that since we're working with this water energy, remembering that we are working deeply with kind of our inner ocean and our inner emotional waves. And these waves come and they go. And that even is not always known to ourselves. But because we are kind of being invited to work with feeling deeply, I'm allowing for us, or I'm opening the space for us to do some shadow work. Again, for those who are interested, I really invite you to sign up, even for just one of the Maklu Magic series that I'll be doing, which is, it's multiple things. It is, ritual and ceremony of Babylon. It is also shadow work. And so part of what we're doing is some way connected to Maklu magic and to exorcism, but we're going to be doing kind of the softest version that this full moon and eclipse would ask for. But the reason that I felt that this shadow work was needed is because I work very strongly and heavily with, I call him Ninurta. He's here on this altar, all the way in the back right here. And he is, he's got many names. Ningirsu was his first name in Sumeria, Sumer. In Babylon, he was Ninurta. He actually, I would say he eventually can even become Marduk, though Marduk is his own kind of deity, but they're very much related. And Ninurta is basically the Babylonian equivalent and first sort of creation of this like heroic Hercules like figure. So Ninurta is basically the Babylonian Hercules. He's the god of thunder. He's the warrior, and he actually protects humankind from basically kind of like a rift in time and destiny. There's this bird, this monster that's trying to steal the tablets of time and to rewrite the narrative. And Ninurta is the one who saves humankind from the fate of basically having the fabric of reality ripped open. So I really like him because with all of that, I am a Virgo, I'm a writer, and he's also patron to writers. He's patron to the exorcists, to the sorcerers. And on top of all of this, he is, when I was initiated, my medicine name was Precious Thunder Warrior, and I felt him come right to my side and kind of stand up and be like, now you're ready for us to talk. And I was like, wow, okay. So when we're working with shadow work, when I'm doing shadow work, he comes to me. And so I'm going to invite him in today, but you don't have to work with him either. But he's really here right now. And Saturn energy, of course, Saturn energy is also Chronos. In Greek mythology, Saturn becomes many faces who can in some ways be considered, underappreciated. Kronos, of course, is sort of a weird guy because he ate all his children and he tried to eat Zeus and he wasn't successful. So Saturn, I don't really work with Kronos, but the idea is Saturn is a complicated energy. Even Ninurta is portrayed as if he has too much ego, he's punished for it. So there's this idea that Saturn energy, I feel like it's very aligned with this moment because it's reminding us that we can be complicated and we can still in some way triumph through it. And we are unchanged even with our complications. Beyond that, Venus, Chiron, and this eclipse are also coming into alignment, sending us purifying, healing vibrations, for helping us find closure in the area of our wounds and in areas of healing. So this is really also a supportive time. Someone else said balance. I'm looking for balance. And, this is about balancing that kind of raw energy, that overwhelming energy. And I think that soothing is really what we need right now. And so that is, I think, part of exactly what I'll be calling in. Beyond that, this is just a very deeply spiritual time. We've also got Mars and Neptune here coming into alignment, inviting us for a higher connection and love through that connection, as well as that kind of fearless warrior Mars energy. So interesting, of course, that even Saturn, even though he's with me, it's kind of all of that spiritual sort of powerful warrior coming through. So with that said, we're going to go into 2 meditations. You can, for the first one, I ask that if you can stay, to please stay until the end for the full kind of experience, the full download. If you cannot, I totally understand. And stay for the first, stay for part of the second, however long you can. I don't think we'll be going to overtime this time. But with all of that said, what we're going to do is do a first meditation, which is our kind of healing of the self. We're going to be doing that shadow work, and then doing the second, we'll be calling in the energies of this moment. We've got Artemis here, we've got Shakti, we've got Venus, we've got Ishtar, we've got Hecate, we've also got in her 10, we've got Hermes, ruler of Mercury. I guess what I would say for him is, with Mercury retrograde, I think that it would be great if we could all ask for a little bit of help while he's kind of doing his trickster stuff. So I'm going to be also calling him and asking for his aid as we move through this time. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Production director, please get started with the music, and then we will get started. Folks on the live say they can hear me and see me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you. I'm grateful we could keep the live going. Okay. So let us begin now. I will open us up with a bit of breath work here. So what we'll do is first arrive into the way that our breath is right now in this moment. Just let it kind of settle and be what it is. And then what we'll do is, together now we will move into a mindful, deep breath practice. So when I say 9, we will breathe in. And when I say 9, we will breathe out. Breathing in together, 9. Breathing out together, 9. Sorry about that, everyone. It looks like I went on for a couple minutes without you guys. So let's take a moment and bring in awareness to the top of our crown and the bottom of our roots, checking in, starting at the bottom, in with every vertebrae of the spine, moving up through hips and stomach, heart, neck, all the way up into the skull, relaxing as well the joints, relaxing shoulders, relaxing hips, knees, elbows, fingers, wrists, ankles, breathing out any tension. Checking in with the bones, with the structure, checking in with where we are. Welcoming some ease, as we may have been processing something heavy recently. We may have been going deep into our emotions in a way that may have even brought wounds. Let us take time to process and be in processing specifically of guilt today, as well as the emotions that crowd around guilt, sadness, humiliation, hurt, anger, perhaps the feeling of nothingness at all. And hold that self as we are inviting in the opportunity today to process. I invite us now to perhaps even hold ourselves in an embrace. You can kind of put your hands around your shoulders, or you can put your hands around your stomach, or if it feels too tight or anything, you can always kind of hold yourself around your legs, hold your knees, If you feel like rolling up into a ball, please do so. And really, really spend the time to hold and embrace the self. Hold yourself through all that you've had to put up with and all that you have done, all that has been done. Just hold that core of you. Hold that guilt. Hold that sadness. Hold that fear. Or hold that anger. Really bringing the breath into this body. Knowing that this body has feelings, that this body has stored memories of different times, of different lives. And through these hands, send that energy. If you are Reiki certified, send the universal life force. Or if you are simply wanting to send yourself your magic, your sorcery, your lightning, allowing for those portals to open up in your hands, for power, energy to come through, so that it is not you replacing the energy in your body, but it is the energy of all things holding you, holding your feelings, holding your body. And it is safe to have this body. During times of an eclipse, the many selves become illuminated, and time feels so much a part of ourselves and a part of our story. But it is one sense, one experience, and one vision. And in our existence and consciousness, we are here. Body is here. And this body has multiple visions and multiple senses. And as we are processing, as we are holding, we are opening ourselves to sense all, to see, to feel, to experience. We process and we come into more and more understanding and knowing. I'm now going to send you a Reiki download to align with the spirit of this eclipse so that we can come into full accepting understanding of self. Receive now this energy that was meant just for you in any way that is safe and comfortable for you to receive it. Healing you with the energy of zoisite and ruby, of fluorite, green healing energy from this eclipse. If you don't want to embrace yourself, you can simply be open now to receive downloads to your heart, downloads to your stomach, downloads to your second chakra if you would like to receive that. Downloads as well to your third eye, to your psychic experience and awareness. May this all come in for your highest wisdom, your highest growth. Welcoming in your healing wisdom, your eclipse knowledge. Welcoming in softness with peach moonstone for cleansing, rebalancing. Breathing deep into this Reiki download, this eclipse download. Letting things go, letting things move, letting everything shift. Tracking these crystals over your aura, decaying rigidity up. I mean, letting now breath come into the body, release come into the body, expansion, strengthening. Letting the energy of the mind move and change. If it doesn't want to clear, we are at least allowing for an opening to the ways of thinking beyond this dimension. Together, if we would like, we can finish this meditation by covering our eyes or our head in some way. You may want to put your hands on the top and the back of your head, or in the front, covering your forehead and eyes, or in some way covering your ears, in some way protecting that sensitive head space. Breathing into the memories that are stored in this head. Breathing in to the emotions that are restored and restored as well. As we put a focus into the skin and the muscles of the face and the head. Breathing and allowing for shift. Time and experience feel so much a part of ourselves and a part of our story. But all is one sense, one experience, one vision. If it feels right, you can hold another part of the body as well as your eyes. For example, I feel called to hold my stomach. As we are opening ourselves to experience all and return to base self, center self. Releasing decision-making brain, releasing the weights on the heart, releasing the burdens on the shoulders. Returning to center, one, self. We have a body, we have a mind, we have a third eye. Now let us see. Let us allow for this self to open up to breathe into the release that comes as we ease into and change into our mystical self. Perhaps our warrior self, our sorcerer self, our wise woman, our wise man self. If you feel called, you can roll the neck as you open your channel now. We open our channel to the above. We open our channel to the below. We open our channel to the left. We open our channel to the right. And though we have felt guilt, sadness, anger, or any of these emotions that have been processed today, though our third eye has seen this self, and though we have experienced a deepness of emotion in this self, we are now in this open channel, beings in between the universes above and the universes below. We are the eclipse. We are the beings of liminal space. We radiate with magic. We are possessing a deepness that moves within. As this meditation is coming to a close, I will chant to help us take this final few moments now to readjust as spiritual beings in this grand universe, under this full moon in Scorpio and under this lunar eclipse, so that we may be ready to open doorways to new ways of being, regardless of what we have carried, regardless of what we still carry. We are magic. We hold magic. We are safe to be self, to love self, to embrace self, and to release guilt. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Thank you, everyone. We are now going to take a 5-minute break. If you are able to stay, I ask that you can. If you like my work, please consider going to preciousthunderwarrior.com, signing up for my newsletter. Definitely stay in touch if you can. And in the meantime, yes, and as well, if you feel that you can make a a donation, greatly appreciated as a support of my work. But I understand this is a community space as well. And there's the link to my to sign up for my newsletter. And I recently updated the website, so if anything, you can just take a peek at how it looks now. And thank you. I'm seeing lots of candle emojis, heart emojis. Yes, much love reflected back to you. I'm also seeing just some relaxation emojis in the chat. Yes, yes. Lots of thumbs up. That's nice. Smiley faces. Thank you. I even saw someone with a muscle emoji. Great. I'm glad this is strengthening for you in any way. Amen to that. So we'll be beginning around 8:14, 8:15. Drink some water, grab your crystals if you haven't already. If you'd like to keep working with them, that is. Otherwise, take a minute, journal, whatever's coming up for you. Be with yourself. I see an angel emoji and someone says, sending you a zillion ohms. I love that. Thank you so much. Yes, Om. Amin. May we really find that space, that awareness. Thank you for sending it to me as well. And thank you May it return to you as you so choose to receive. Someone says, this is beautiful, staying for the next hour. Thank you so much. Grateful that you could stay. Grateful for your presence. I'm glad you could. Wonderful to have you. Now, production director, can you please change the music over as we're still in break? Let's get the transition going. Thank you so much for keeping our space for us, being our gatekeeper and our sound designer. Okay. We'll give it another minute, and then we'll move into the next space. Okay, just one moment. Anything else I'm missing? Oh, looks like some folks were having trouble getting into the meditation. See anything else I need to do here. Okay. Thank you all for your patience. Just got worried for a second, maybe the right link didn't go around, but if so, hopefully that can be updated. That's okay. Regardless, I'm grateful for the space, as always. Okay, I think we're good, actually. So let's get into this second meditation now. As I mentioned, this is going to be more of a ceremony. So I am going to offer my prayers, and then we will do our work up into the divine dimensions. I'm seeing those thumbs up, those stars, and those moons. Amin. Yes, let's do it. I'm very excited. Thank you. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Okay. So for now, let's all get back into space. And we'll do a bit of breath work together. I will guide you. Checking I'm not muted. And then we'll go into the prayer. Breathing in 9. And breathing out 9. 9. And 9. Last breath here, breathing in deeply from the bottom of the feet to the top of the head and really filling up the belly, allowing it to all go out with a whoosh. Breathing in 9. 9. Take this time now to call in the land that we are all on, Turtle Island. We give great thanks to the keepers of this land, gratitude for living in land that is indigenous to peoples, to tribes, not necessarily of our own. I call in the energy of your ancestral lands to support you for today with great and humble gratitude. I call in your ancestors, the helpful ancestors in their wellness to support and help you, as well as any recent ancestors who you feel will be beneficial to you. And calling in any ancients who you may not know by name or face, but who are here to support you on your journey and to help you understand your purpose. If you cannot see them, simply allow for the energetic knowledge that they are entering your space and your room if you give them permission. Someone in the chat says, I can hear your voice from here. Emmy. I call in your animals. I call in the cats, the dogs, the mammals, the deer, the horses, the sheep. I call in the reptiles, the alligators, the snakes, the scorpions, the bugs, the insects, the crustaceans, Cancerian crabs. I call in the fish. I call in the whales, the sea dwellers. I call in the birds, the sky dwellers, the hawks, the songbirds, the eagles, the falcons, the peacocks, the pheasants, the turkeys, the chickens. I call in any of your star beings, if there are any Anunnaki or helpful spirits, leprechauns, fairies, elves, assigned to your case, assigned to your master plan. We call them in. And finally, we call in any of your patron or matron deities, your gods, goddesses, your heroes and heroines, and all the people in between who are here to support you, your elementals, Mother and Father Sky. All in this community space we gather with great powerful energy for all of our guides now to watch over us, to hold hands, to come together in collaboration for this, our ritual today. I also call in my guides and my ancestors. I call in my grandfathers, my grandmothers, my patrilineal line, my matrilineal line. I call in my Anunnaki, any angels that are out there for me or you. I call in Shakti Ma, Durga Ma, Kali Ma. I call in Ishtar, Ishtar, Great Mother Venus, Aphrodite, Freya. I call in Isis, Sekhmet, Hathor, Bastet. I call in the moon goddesses Selene, Aphrodite, Artemis. I call in Hecate, goddess of witchcraft, as well as the moon. I call in my patron Mercury, Hermes, Jehutit, the Hov. I call in Enki, I call in Nabu, I call in Odin. I call in the many faces of the mercurial, the writing, the sorcery, the tricksters, the creators of knowledge, the creators of magic, the creators of the written word. And I call in Abu Ninurta, Ningirsu, Saturn. I call in the great warrior, the keeper of the Mace Sharur, destroyer of the Anzu bird, protector of the tablets of time and destiny. Great warrior, great writer, great shepherd, great farmer of lands, protector of humankind, God of thunder, God of sorcery, God of exorcism. I also call in any final plant, crystal allies that may reach out to us today. I now offer my prayer to all those who are with us. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Uhdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, Sirat al-Ladhina an'amta alayhim, Ghayri al-Maghdubi alayhim, Wala Dhalim, Ameen. Calling your name Ningirsu, you as Lord of the Secret, your bravery much greater than all, your divinity surpassing. Wholeheartedly we praise you, you who are thoughtful, capable, and inspiring. I ask that all of these beings today protect us, keep us secure, allow us to download that which is what we need, to allow us to express our truth in health and in happiness, to release our obsession and to be hooked instead to your infinity, to instead become a part of the fabric of reality, sewn in under your guidance, great beings. May our paths be blessed by you, and may we walk together now in this ceremony and in this ritual, held in sacred space for our highest and greatest good. Ameen. We call now to all those hands who weave our destiny, and we ask now that our awareness expand so that the earth around us becomes the wilderness that is our home. Everything around us is wilderness. There is forest, there is river valley, there is mountain, there is ocean, There is stream and river. There is mud and grass and sand and snow. We are together companions on this great and bountiful land that we live. For this land is all things. This land is our universe. Our vessel. And through it, we are tapping in to the hum of life, the hum of everything, the hum of darkness and shadow, as well as the hum of the light, the hum of the moon, the hum of the sun. We hear life force in everything. Around us now forms a rainbow bubble, all colors and shades accounted for, and we are inviting in a protection and love of our shadow self. As this bubble allows us now to travel interdimensionally, up and out of this world. Even if we do not see it visually, let us understand it energetically. Let us understand it in the feelings of our body, understand it in the story that we weave. As we move into the deep universe, where energy moves intensely, where we see clearly all difficult and all ease, and where our burdens are not borne with weight, but simply with understanding, as we are the multidimensional beings traveling across the frequencies of universe. This bubble taking us now to a temple meant only for us for this eclipse. Around us is fog, and we see before us the gateway, our first opening to this energy. Door closed as we now look at this temple with one great tower spire, like an antennae, directly below this full moon, as it's slowly passing into the eclipse. And now we see that moon passing over, and the gateway opens, and we go in and enter this temple of the eclipse, meant just for us. You may take in what this building looks like, if it's a castle, if it's a church, if it's a masjid, if it's a pyramid, as long as you see that tower just below the moon. We are brought now to a bathing pool in this temple, a place that is meant for our cleansing. As we lean into the Scorpio energy. Allow yourself to be submerged as far as you'd like to go into this water, cooling you, relieving you, soothing you. You may see your deities here. Around me today are Pluto and Persephone, Artemis, Ninurta, and Shakti, Durga Ma, Aphrodite, Ishtar, Venus. Listen now for any messages from your deities and your guides that are meant just for you in this cleansing and this healing moment. Ninurta, Mercury, who is also here, and Shakti, Aphrodite. They smile and they are glad that you are here. They help in any ways that feel comfortable for you, for your cleansing. Saturn and Mercury wash your hair, placing their hands on the sides of your head. And Shakti, Aphrodite, Ishtar, Isis, Hathor, Sekhmet, these goddesses hold out their hands in front of you. If you so choose to receive one of these Venus goddesses' touch with your hands, you may reach out and hold their hands. Or put your hands out and let them be held. Or you may be held by your deities. All are acknowledging your body, your boundaries, your space, and your safety. So if you do not want to receive any of these cleansings from these deities, then don't. They won't be offended. Let this bathing be transformational and helping you to shed layers. May we be cleansed of our forms, our pasts, our relations to the past, so it is all washed away. May this water close doors as it washes, purifying you, exfoliating the harmful wounds that are keeping you out of balance with your true experience. If we have chosen to let our heads dip below the waters, let us let this bath cleanse our brain in a non-intrusive way. Cleanse wounds at the brain, purifying the brain, rewiring and refreshing. Let us allow the waters to cleanse our amygdala, the almond-shaped mass of gray matter at the center of our brain that is involved in experiencing our emotional memories. Letting the waters cleanse. There's no right way to do it, no right answer. You just let the energy move if it wants to. We bring in energy to the thalamus, which is in our cerebral cortex, really in the center of the brain. our reactor to all our sensory information, the recognizer of signals, the place that is our awareness and our sense of reality, our experience of our higher senses, and our experience of the expansion of our consciousness. And as we are bathing, perhaps Aphrodite is washing your hair, perhaps no one's washing your hair, perhaps Ninurta is washing your hair. We are no longer denying our reality. We are overcoming. We are shifting. I'm now going to do some rattling as we continue to focus in different places of the brain, in our experience, in our emotional selves, in our third eye, our pituitary, our pineal gland, as well as our pituitary gland. Now is a great time, if you have your crystals or your wands or your oils, to anoint yourself, to spray yourself, to fill in the cracks of your energy with this bathing sea's waves. For as the ocean's waves are pulled by the moon, so is our blood, so are our emotions, so are our waters. We are being healed, we are being seen, we are being expressed, we are being given kindness, all while we return to the magic and relax into the self. Listen now as this process takes place. Amen. Let us be seen, let us be expressed. Let us be given kindness. Let us return to our magic always. As now in this temple, in this bathing pool, we look above and we see that tower spire. And in that space, the spire is slowly being pulled open like a window. Above us, we see that the eclipse has formed, and a gateway to the liminal space that is at once chaos and thunderous, and is galactic and is shifting and transforming, all opens to us as we once again are borne aloft now in our rainbow bubble, traveling up and out of this temple and into this open portal doorway to the eclipse. This door that is opening like a black hole into times and dimensions and understandings beyond what we have seen in our life thus far. When we are ready, we may now enter this portal and experience that great beyond that is deeply open, beyond human comprehension. 3, 2, 1. And we are in the eclipse. Awakened within us, we are aware of our thunder. We are seeing, experiencing an opening to the infinity of the great multi-dimensional universe. Experiencing what we were meant to experience in this eclipse today. May we invite in the energy of play in this area. And in this reflection of the liminal, of the place between moon and sun, where they come together and their lights become reflected, their shadows become reflected. At long last, we meet in this place our inner child. Here at the beginning and end of all things, all moments, all time, we hold and appreciate and embrace this eclipse inner child. Holding love, peace and acceptance for the self. We are all traveling together with the self throughout time, and find love through the deepness of feeling that is here. May we hold it with all the fear and the sadness, with the overwhelmed, the irritation, with the anger, with the hurt. May we hold as well the deepness of love and the understanding that we walk through these marvels of life always first with self. Listening now for any final messages or downloads in this eclipse. Any final activations meant just for you. I will now count from 1 to 10, and when I reach 10, you will return from your bubble through a new gateway out of this eclipse portal and back into your room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. we can let the music stop here, and I will stop the recording.